You are listening to the Delay and Pray podcast, episode number 181.
Welcome to the Delay and Pray podcast, where certified Catholic and weight loss coach Beth Bubick teaches you how to permanently lose weight through spiritual fasting. Get ready to gain faith and lose weight through a joyful transformation of both body and soul. Now, your host, Beth, the Catholic fasting coach.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I hope your week is going well. It has been an exhausting and amazing week for me, and I want to share every detail with you so that you get inspired with a couple thoughts that I think constantly throughout my days. So the first thought that I'm always thinking, especially this year, is this is my year of miracles. And I seek these miracles, these holy opportunities every single day. I say this in the morning, I say it in the afternoon. I say it all the time. This is my year of miracles. When's the next one coming, Lord? When's it coming? And I then write them down the next morning in my journaling every single day. I seek it. In John chapter 1, verse 38, Jesus says, "What are you seeking?" And later he explains that what you seek, you will find. So what are you seeking? I'm seeking miracles day after day. And I want you to come with me on this. I want you to seek those miracles that only He can give. It's an eternal response is what we're looking for. This is kind of the change. It's not like, oh, these are the miracles that I'm looking for, Lord. Can you give me these? That is included a little bit, but for the most part, I really am asking Him, what are the miracles that you need me to receive, Lord, so that I can do your mission, so that I can do your work? Where are the miracles? And then little by little, He gives them to me. That doesn't mean that I'm not looking for miracles for my husband and my family and my kids and my clients. I'm also looking for miracles with them as well. And I'm writing those down. But it truly is aligning what I think I need with the Lord's will. And that's all that I want. I just want His will, not mine. I want His will. So it all kind of comes together. So then the second thought is that all my dreams are coming true. I have been saying this thought for years. And sometimes I would say it really begrudgingly because I would be like, okay, all my dreams are coming true. A little bit of cognitive dissonance there because they weren't. It didn't feel like they were. But you know, the Father is always working, right? That's scriptural. And so He's always working behind the scenes, even if we can't see it. We have a guardian angel. We have St. Michael the Archangel. We have the Blessed Mother interceding for us. We have the angels and saints. You know, we have the whole spiritual realm that is working in our favor. And a lot of times we can't see the progress, and that's okay. All of our dreams are still coming true if you want. So that is a great, great thought. That's my second thought. Okay. So I'm running this race for Jesus, and I've decided that this is really all about Him. He's the dream giver. So, okay, Lord, send me who you need me to see, show me what you need me to show, and send me where you need me to go to complete your mission. So my mind is really set on the eternal dreams to come true, His dreams. And these must coincide with mine. I know they do because they do all the time. So I just want you to know that these two thoughts have really transformed my mind and how I think about things, and they've affected my results. Because remember, it's not your circumstances that you want to dwell on. You can definitely take action in your life to change your circumstances, not a problem. But in reality, it's not your circumstances that are basically driving you. It's how you think about those circumstances. Your thoughts create your results, and this is the truth. So it wasn't any surprise that last December, the day after Christmas last year, a gal named Hope from the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, contacted me by email. And she wanted to see if I was interested in sharing my story of Delay and Pray for the TV show that Father Chris Alar produces on Thursday nights on EWTN. And oh my gosh, I was like, oh boy, I had never really heard of the TV show. It's called Living the Divine Mercy. But then I checked it out on YouTube and it's really good. And of course, I love Father Chris. Father Chris Alar is awesome. I listen to him all the time on YouTube, whether it's on that show or not. But anyway, I jumped at the chance and I definitely emailed her back and said, oh my gosh, I'm so interested. What does this entail? So we met a couple times over Zoom and decided that we were going to go ahead and film it. We did have one day set up in the winter time and then we got snowed out, so they couldn't come. So anyway, it just happened to be this week, which is the last week of April. So it was perfect. It was perfect timing because I live on a lake. And so the lake is just, it's cold. It's like in the 50s and 60s. So it's not summer yet, but it's just beautiful. And it was a sunny day. And I just want to tell you all about it. So the way that this works is that EWTN and, the TV shows that are on there, they basically contract different media teams to take footage. And then those media teams then send it to EWTN for them to produce their little documentaries or the little stories that they are actually producing for their shows. So I just learned so much and it was such an interesting and wonderful experience. And I'm just so excited to share every detail with you because it was a blast and I want to do it again. And there was so much I didn't know. And now I know. So anyway, the experience of Monday with the filming put my dreams on a whole other level. That's all I want to say. And now I am literally like, okay, Lord, anything is possible with you. And I am so grateful to you for moving me along the way that you do, Lord. He just keeps moving me along. This is my 5th year in business, and it has not been easy. It has had really, really lows and really, really big highs along the way. But I can see now that it does take 5 years to actually create a successful business. I can see this now, and it's kind of moderating a bit, right? Less high highs, less low lows, and more of just this moderation in the middle that we all are striving for with Delay and Pray. But it's going well. And it really happened when I really gave that daily surrender to God. It was last year when I finally decided, Lord, this is your business. You must move it the way you need to move it. And that's when everything really started to get a lot easier. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I just wanted to tell you that. And it's really those two thoughts. All my dreams are coming true, and this is my year of miracles. So today, I just want to take you behind the scenes of last Monday, a day that just really felt like a gift from beginning to end. So here we go. It was an incredible opportunity to create this little documentary of my life as the Catholic fasting coach and how spiritual fasting through the Delay and Pray method actually works, not just as a business and ministry, but as a real lived way of life that is steeped in God's divine mercy. That's what they wanted. They wanted my life and how I actually go through the Delay and Pray method as the Catholic fasting coach. And so I set out to put together a schedule, a very aggressive schedule for them that started at 7 a.m. and went all the way till 4:30 p.m. And I said, hey, you can just, choose from any of this stuff to film. Well, they were like, no, we're going to film it all. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that's what we ended up doing. We ended up filming it all. It was exhausting, but it was a blast. So let me begin in the morning. So first of all, I have to begin here. Cody and Matt are the videographers that were sent from Certs Media, and they were outstanding. They were young guys. They were professional, talented, fun, kind, easy to talk to, and they made the entire day feel natural and effortless and just a great time. They literally made the day. So it's really important when you are filming that the videographers are just really easygoing people that are super talented and know exactly how to do the shots and how to set up the equipment and how to put your best foot forward, right? So Cody and Matt arrived before sunrise, right around 7 a.m. And the morning was chilly and it was beautiful. Luckily, we had some sun in the morning because it ended up getting kind of cloudy and rainy in the afternoon. But at this particular time, the sun was rising over the lake right behind our house, right over the lake, and they captured it perfectly. Matt had the drone up over the water, and Cody was setting up tons of equipment, including lighting and cameras and all the things inside the house. And then my husband and daughter were present. They sat in to just adjust the set. They sat in certain chairs so they could see the lighting and how the lighting was needing to be just right. And then I helped move around furniture and props to get the best shots to tell the story. It was really fun, and I just learned so much. So once everything was ready, we stepped right into filming. Cody interviewed my husband, Mike. And then after that, my daughter, Alyssa. They did great. While Matt filmed me journaling, praying, and drinking coffee, like on the deck and in the sunroom, all my favorite spots. And all the ways, that really I do start my day in prayer and journaling. This is the foundation of how I live every day. So that took about an hour and a half. And this is called B-roll for some of you who don't know. It's basically background roll, and they're not using, like when he was filming me at these places, you're not using audio, you're just using video. And so I'm used to that. And so it was really, really fun to just do it in my own house, very authentic of my own life. So after about an hour and a half, we basically drove to our church. We go to several churches, St. Pius in Granger, St. Tom's in Elkhart, or St. Mary's in Bristol. And St. Mary's has a 9 a.m. Mass, so I chose that one. And so we drove over to St. Mary's for adoration and Mass. Mass begins at 9. And we arrived around 8:30 to film adoration and just general praying of Mike and I in the pew. So one of my friends from church, Kimmy, I had told her about this, and she met us there and she helped us through all the paces. She was a trooper, and it went so well. So many thanks to her and our priest, Father Terry, for easily approving the filming. He was really excited about it. It was a bit embarrassing because the daily mass goers were filing in at around 9 or 8:45. They were giving us strange looks, like, what is going on here? But we got through it, and they settled in wonderfully. And it just was a beautiful part that is very necessary. It needed to be included because going to church and partaking of the sacraments is the heart of everything, not only in my life, but of delay and pray. Because without the pray, there is no successful delay. Delay without pray is called dieting. Okay. You can still call it a little bit of mortification, but you've got to have the prayer. You have to have Jesus. You must have him. So it's the daily surrender to Jesus that actually allows the delay of sugar to happen successfully in your life if you're doing it correctly. Without the sacraments, it just cannot be done. So anyway, it's after Easter. We're in the Easter season. So the church was beautiful. And to be honest with you, I was kind of nervous at the beginning, and I really needed Jesus at that very moment. So it really was reverent. And when they were filming us in adoration and filming us at Mass, I was really praying for Jesus to guide me and for Mary to intercede. And I just kept letting the Lord know that this is his, and just to talk through me and help me and just do what he wanted to do through me as his empty vessel. And it seemed to go very, very well. And he came through for me, of course. And thank God he did, because I had no idea how long the day would be and how much energy it takes to be on for that many hours. So after that prayerful and quiet time, Mike and I changed clothes because we were going to the next segment, which was at the gym. We belong to a gym called Beacon Health and Fitness, and we did get approval from the staff there to film activities that we were going to do. We go there primarily in the winter, but sometimes in the summer as well. But anyway, the staff was great and so helpful there, and it was perfect for this day because it was a little chilly out, even though it was sunny. So what do we do? Well, Mike and I played pickleball with some regulars that come on Mondays. Now, I don't come on Mondays. I come on Saturdays for the most part, and I play on Wednesday evenings in my neighborhood. So we didn't know a lot of people, but they were so sweet. Two guys were like, we'll be filmed. We'll do it. And so we were like, okay. And it was a little crazy because, we started playing and the guys filmed us at every angle, and they had us stop here, start here. They had the guys, hey, give her this kind of a shot and do this and dink here and serve here. And so they were trying to get these certain shots. It was fun, but it was also embarrassing because the entire gym was full of people. I don't even know how many courts there were. There's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, 6, 7 courts, all filled, people waiting to play. And here we were taking up a court. But anyway, it was fun. And even though people were staring at us and wondering what the heck we were doing, it was really great. So now the reason why I filmed there was because in Delay and Pray, I want people to understand that connection matters. Okay. Yes, we're talking about food, we're talking about prayer, but we're also talking about friendship with others, and it matters. In this day and age, we have to get off of screens, we have to get off of our phones, off of Zoom, and we have to go and play with others. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or in your 60s. We have to play with others. We have to get back to that. We cannot afford not to do this. And so I'm coaching my clients all the time that you do not always need food and drink to bond with other people. You can connect over many other activities, whether it's euchre or whether it's pickleball, whatever it is, dancing, it can be whatever it is, but something, especially in movement, is going to be really fruitful for us. So we all need each other's presence without our phones. And that's the whole thing. And also without food and alcohol too. It's like we can do this. We can hike together. We can have shared experiences that are uniquely human and godly. And it doesn't mean that we always have to do things in church, like scripture study or the sacraments or even book studies at church. I mean, all those are great too. But what if we step out of the Catholic Church with our Catholic friends and even just friends who aren't Catholic? And, we just get face to face and we do things together without technology. And I think that's really important and it's very, very helpful. So anyway, I know that when I go to Beacon to play pickleball, also there's others there that need me to show up. They need me to show up. So I do. This also changes the way I work out because I have to take care of my knees. I have to take care of my arms and my shoulders. And I need to make sure that I'm fit so that when I'm moving back and forth and I'm pounding on the court, with my knees and my feet, that I'm doing it in a very intentional, wonderful way so that I don't hurt myself too. So for all of you out there, movement matters. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing tennis, if you're doing pickleball, if you're doing golf, if you're working out, if you're a runner, you're doing marathons, whatever you're doing, if you're a biker, my husband loves to ride his bike. He's a bicyclist. So whatever you're doing, so you can train your body to be really good at that. And we're even training ourselves in prayer to be really good at prayer, right? So it's really all training. We're all athletes for Christ, if you want to think about it, kind of that way. So we did a lot of that. And also they've done studies that say that, when you're doing something with hand-eye coordination and you're doing something in competition all through your life, like friendly competition, even if it's professional, but it's just enjoyable, then it just brings a lot more joy to your life. And these are gifts from God that strengthen both body and soul. And we need to get back into that. So this is what I wanted to show the audience for this little documentary, that yes, we pray, we journal, we're doing all of this beautiful, beautiful work in prayer, but we also have our movement and it really matters. So after pickleball, Mike went on to work and the filming continued with me. And I'm laughing because Matt and Cody put me through a little mini workout. I mean, I was sweating. They had me lifting weights and they put me on a treadmill and they put me on a bike and it was great. It's just that I was starting to get tired. I mean, this was real, no shortcuts. And we were only halfway through the day when, we basically left there. The only thing we did not get in there was sled work, which I love. I found that from, if you guys have ever heard of the knees over toe guy, he is so good. Look him up on Instagram, the knees over toe guy. It might be the knees over toes guy. I can't remember if there's an S in there. But anyway, he's got me into this thing where I walk down our lake hill and walk back up backwards and I wear a vest and I do that. We didn't get that on film. There's only so much exercise I could do. But when I don't have that hill, I do sled work upstairs at Beacon and I'm pushing and pulling a sled that has weights on it. And it's so good for your knees. I can tell you something. I used to have knee pain. I have no knee pain. No knee pain after doing sled work and after doing some of these regimens with the knees over toe guy. It's so good. So I'd highly recommend him. So anyway, we didn't get that, but that's okay. No matter what, I do a lot of weights and we definitely got some of that footage too. So that was great. So we left there and I was still at a high. I was just so excited. And we drove to a small park near our home where Mike and I occasionally walk to get into nature. And it's really a sweet little place, just filled with wildlife. It's small. It's not hilly. I wouldn't say it's hiking. It's more just walking, all wooded, and it's beautiful. And this part was really quiet and simple, but really important. I think the guys really enjoyed it. And they ended up filming me just walking the trails, praying the rosary, and actually doing some interviewing while we walked. And we had to do that over and over and over again. And that was interesting, but I really enjoyed doing it, just getting outside, away from noise. And I was talking when they were interviewing me, I was just talking about maybe during your day, somehow getting away from noise and media and into silence and prayer. And it does really just reset everything. And I try to do that. If I can't go to a park like that, just even walking down my street without my phone, without my headphones, and just my rosary, it just resets everything. It basically lifts your mood, strengthens your body, calms your nervous system, and really brings you back to God. And you're going to find out that you don't need that afternoon coffee, that you are just like, whoo, like your endorphins are running, especially if you can do it after lunch. You're using up the glucose that you just put into your body and for energy, and it's all good. It's all good, especially in the middle of the day. So yeah, so you just return renewed, and that's the point. So something I've been thinking about a lot lately is, we really do need to be real intentional about disconnecting from all media on a daily basis and really just talking to each other face to face. So we talked about that as we were walking, and I think the guys, I know we all just enjoyed the park and just had a really, really good time. It was getting a little cloudy and overcast at that time, and so we ended up driving home for my favorite part. Oh my gosh, this part was my favorite part, and I want to do it again. I'm like, I've got to do this. I've got to find somebody to sponsor this because it was the cooking segment. Oh my goodness. And Delay and Pray is all about no snacking and eating in meals within an allotted segment of time. So one of the ways that I imagine myself not snacking, I just imagine, God gave us this imagination. Father Ripperger, my favorite exorcist, always talks about we have to use our imagination for good. So I see myself stepping on stones from stone to stone to stone. And the stone is like in a pond. It's in just a very little bit of water. There's water between the stones, and the stones are meals. And so I step from stone to stone, and I see myself, I don't snack. I'm just stepping from meal to meal to meal. Okay. And that's because my body needs rest in between meals to digest all of the food and also to go to my fat stores for energy. So my body can create ketones out of my fat stores for energy. And I just imagine myself, on these stones. And I think it's an interesting thing to do. So, we in Delay and Pray, we call that segment of time those meals are within the eating window. And it's usually between 8 and 4 hours. If you are an alumni of Delay and Pray, you're learning to keep your meals between 8 and 4 hours. Some people do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I do OM squared AD, which is 1 mass a day, 1 meal a day. Okay. I don't know if I'm not feeling well, or like I hurt my arm a while back. So I went to OMAD to get deep into ketosis, to get that inflammation down and the healing of my arm. And I'm telling you guys, it worked beautifully. So anyway, so once you have that eating window, the rest of the day is for fasting for a spiritual purpose. And that is your why. So one of the tricks to keeping that long fast is to eat in meals and eat the foods that help you keep the fast during those meals. That's what I wanted to show during this cooking segment. And those foods typically are without sugar, flour, and alcohol. Now listen, do I snack ever? You bet I do. There are times I do. I have bad days and good days, but I have way more good days. I have a teeny tiny little occasional bad days, but I have way more good days than bad now. I mean, remember, I'm going on year 5 of doing all of this. So I just want you to know it's possible. You just have to keep imagining yourself going from meal to meal to meal. In fact, when I first got that miracle of not having any alcohol, my thoughts were sort of like, okay, I'm not going to have any alcohol. And my thought was the minutes will turn into meals. The meals will turn into days without alcohol. The days will turn into weeks. The weeks will turn into months, and the months will turn into years. And I heard that from somebody on a podcast. And I was like, I don't even know if it was about alcohol, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. The minutes turn into meals. The meals turn into days. The days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years without alcohol. And that's what's happened. I'm 4 months without having alcohol, which is phenomenal. So anyway, getting back to the cooking segment. So I wanted to feed the guys lunch, and I knew that like the weekend before. So I was like, what can I fix so that I can feed everybody? And so I decided to fix gourmet tacos. And so after quite a bit of equipment set up in the kitchen and another wardrobe change, plus adding my new Delay and Pray apron, I have a new white apron that has our logo on it. So cute. So I put that on and I started prepping everything, and it was a lot of little bowls of sides and things. So anyway, we ended up filming a full demonstration on how to prepare a simple, wholesome meal of gourmet tacos in a good, better, best approach. So how I did it was the flour tortillas, those are good. It's a good start if you're going to do tacos. Almond flour tortillas are a better option, way less glycemic, right? Way less flour and sugar. And then the best option is the full salad, which is void of any simple carbs. Okay, so that's best. So we have this good, better, best approach. I was talking about it. I cooked all three versions with lots of veggie sides. And I cooked ground beef that day because it was the easiest thing that they could actually come to the stove and watch me cook that. But I could have offered many protein choices. Like on the island, I could have had chicken and pork and steak and shrimp and you name it. I mean, you could have salmon, you could have anything, fish. The possibilities are endless. But what I wanted to tell you and what I want to show the audience is that cooking for a family is not hard. You just use yourself as the very base. Okay, that's the salad. And then you add things that you can eat first. And then you offer your family, okay, here's almond flour tortillas. Here's low carb tortillas if you want that. Here's regular flour tortillas. Here's corn tortillas. I mean, whatever. Here's lettuce. I mean, how do you want to do it? So when you don't have to cook many different meals, you just learn to cook one meal with options where, your base is where you begin. So, and you can serve everyone. All of you can do this. In fact, I was thinking about this. My little 8-month-old grandchild, I looked at the island. She could eat almost anything on that island. Of course, I'm not going to give her, pickled onions. But oh my gosh, my daughter, she feeds her taco meat and little pieces of tortilla, cheese, rice. I mean, you name it. There was all kinds of little tiny vegetables cut up. And she's not even one. I mean, so, I think we need to get away from a staple diet for our children of French fries and chicken nuggets. And sorry to tell you all that. And it's going to take a little work. But, there's a lot of leftovers from this and you can do it. So anyway, I'm hoping that I was able to really make the point during the video. Now, it was my first time, so it may be terrible. I don't even know, right? I haven't seen the final product. But anyway, because he had me stop and he'd be like, okay, now play around and like eat it and go, oh, that's so good. So I was like, oh, that's so good. I probably look really bad, but I know that the second time I do it, because I want to do this again. I just want to do this again. I think the second time I do it, I'll be much better because, oh man, it was so much fun. Anyway, I just wanted everyone to understand that food matters and that learning to cook and plan your food without sugar, flour, and alcohol is essential and it's not hard. And this isn't just for physical health, but for spiritual discipline as well, because it helps you keep the fast. That's what we want to do. We want to keep the fast. So it is going to take effort to plan, especially if this isn't your thing. I mean, I grew up with a mom doing this, so I saw it day in, day out. Very easy for me. But I can teach you. And over time, you can retrain your habits and lead your whole family in a much better direction with both food and prayer. I'm telling you, it's just habit stacking altogether, right? So it was my favorite part of the day. I definitely want to do it again. And it was exciting. So after I cleaned up, I was getting pretty tired. Oh my gosh, I could see it. And I kept having to redo my hair. I had so much hairspray on my hair. It was crazy. So anyway, after filming multiple takes and prepping and cooking everything, we all sat down to eat, me, Cody, and Matt. I mean, these guys are young and healthy, full of life, and we had great conversation on so many topics. They were phenomenal, great guys, and geez, they were so young. I think one was 23, one was 28. They might as well have been my own children, honestly. It was just simple and joyful, and we needed the rest. We needed the rest for 45 minutes. We were tired. But anyway, they ate everything up and it was terrific. So after lunch, I cleaned up the kitchen while they moved the set again for the final interview, because at that point, a thunderstorm was definitely rolling in and it was getting dark. So they had to completely adjust the lighting. It was a lot of work and took some time, but they handled it seamlessly. So while they were doing that, I jumped on a live coaching call and one of the videographers came over and he started filming me so that they could capture how I work with clients. And that was super fun because we have a new group and they were all smiles. They loved being part of that. And, people love being part of a mission, a really cool mission. So that was fun. And I coached a little bit and then I said goodbye. And I didn't have to worry about starting on time or finishing on time because it was Christine's day to coach and she was doing the orientation for the new group. So I was able just to pop in and out. So that was really nice. And they got some film about that. So, all right. So finally it was 3 p.m. and we reached the last interview. So at that point I was exhausted, completely spent, I'm telling you. But I prayed to the Holy Spirit to carry me through, and he did. I literally was like, Holy Spirit, you have to get me through this. So he did. And these guys are really good at what they do. So Cody is actually the interviewer, and the way he asked questions was really smooth and very easy to follow and answer. He had a way to do this. And they actually film for Hollow quite a bit. So they have a lot of experience in doing all of this. And you could tell, oh my goodness, they made it so easy. The Holy Spirit was doing his work. It took about an hour. Then that was it. The final interview was a great culmination of a wonderful day and came together beautifully and ended. So I was so excited, very tired, but waved goodbye to these guys around 4:30. They packed up and headed back to Chicago in the rain, and it was fabulous. So it was such a good day. It was truly an experience of a lifetime, a true dream come true. I'm so grateful to EWTN, to Father Chris Alar. I would love to meet him someday. I'm going to find a retreat where he is coming. I want to meet him someday. And thank you to Hope, his assistant, and to Certs Media, to Cody, Matt, all the people who are on mission to bring souls to God and to revive souls to delay and pray, because that is the way we cast out demons in ourselves and others. Oh my goodness, this is the mission. And wow, all these people are so talented. They were so kind, a joy to work with, and they made everything just feel so easy. And I couldn't end this without majorly expressing lots of gratitude to my husband, Mike, and my daughter, Alyssa. They were there that morning. Their love and support in the morning just really grounded the entire day, and just really appreciate that. It's hard sometimes to do this all by yourself. A lot of times I feel very lonely, and then they step in and they're right there for me all the time. So that is really wonderful. And most of all, I'm just grateful to God and his son, Jesus Christ, for this little dream that I've always had to do a little documentary. It's so funny to make some kind of a little movie of my business. I just didn't know how it was going to happen, but he made it happen. He knew. I just kept the thought in my brain. All my dreams are coming true, and he makes them come true in his good timing. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord does not delay. The Lord does not delay. His timing is perfect. Anyway, obviously, he wanted to share this mission of spiritual fasting at this time. And so he did it. And the freedom it brings physically and spiritually to the whole world. So delay and pray is something I will never take for granted. And to connect it to divine mercy is everything. I mean, never thought about that. Because at the center of all of this is a God who is rich in mercy, who sees our tireless efforts, who loves us deeply, and who is constantly calling us back to him through spiritual fasting. Who would have ever thought that divine mercy, and we just got done with divine mercy, right? Divine Mercy Sunday was just a few weeks ago. I love divine mercy. I love the chaplet. I love everything about divine mercy. Sister Faustina. Oh my goodness. So it just was a really, really wonderful connection that only he could have put together. So what I want you to know is he sees you, my friend. He knows your name. He knows your struggles. And he wants to make your dreams come true. So keep that thought in your mind. Keep that thought in your heart and repeat it often. He wants us to know his love for each of us and the dreams that he really has for us every minute of every day. He is awesome. And this day was a true reminder of that. And it's not going to be my last one. All right. Have a wonderful week, my friends. Thank you for letting me share this journey with you, because you are all so beautiful. And I love your emails. I love your comments. I love everything that Delay and Pray has been able to offer me and this business and our family and the clients and the people we've worked with over the years. It's been wonderful, and we have a long way to go. All right. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week, and God bless. If you are interested in learning more about spiritual fasting and permanent weight loss, then come join my course, Delay and Pray, a guided course for weight loss through spiritual fasting. You won't go through it alone either. I will be there to coach you every step of the way. This is a group coaching program where you are part of an amazing community of like-minded Catholics who have the same goal as you, to bring about miracles while losing that weight permanently through spiritual fasting. Your purchase includes an online course detailing what spiritual fasting is, how to do it, and all the tools you need to get you the results you're longing for. Head over to my website right now at thecatholicfastingcoach.com and get the details on how to join. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and LinkedIn to always get the latest daily information to help you keep fasting, my friends. Can't wait to see you in there. May God bless you and keep you always.